Hey guys, welcome back to the Pineapple Podcast. Last episode we had Natalie on. Today it's just us. So
In our world, we literally had Natalie on 5 minutes ago, but
you guys,
she's gone.
Yeah, for you guys it'll be a couple days apart. So next up, we've got some more stuff to talk about. We got
Apple.
Yeah, Apple. What have they been doing?
Well, we talked about the phones and laptops last week. This week, we're going to tell you all a little bit about the new Apple Watch, because, well, if you're being real with yourself, their last one was kind of pointless.
Yeah, I mean this one's also kind of pointless.
But it
same.
does a better job at being pointless.
That's true. It's better at being the same. Like, it does the same exact stuff. It has a better screen to body ratio without any notches.
No notches.
Nah, none of those notches. It's a little bit bigger than the previous versions, but it's...
Two centimeters.
Yeah. So it's a little bit bigger, but it's not so big that it feels like you're wearing a huge, outdoorsy smartwatch or anything.
To quote Marcus Brownlee, oh dang it, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh well, if you wanted, we can add it in a little bit later. But in other news,
oh yeah, he was saying that I guess one of the things that he noticed was about if someone sends you a link to something, and you like through a message, and you click on it through the watch, you won't hate yourself for reading it. So I guess the old Apple Watches, which is a great name by the way, the old Apple Watches though, if you clicked on a link in a text message, then you might as well not have clicked it because it was impossible to read, to pull it up.
Yeah.
He said you won't hate yourself for trying to read this one. But
yeah. As far as the Android version of smartwatches go, we're getting there. When you first originally get your smartwatch, it feels like super great. Everything's super smooth. It may even be waterproof or have NFC built in if you got one of the fancier ones, but they do start to slow down after a while. I've had mine.
Well, they are a lot cheaper than Apple Watches, though. What are the prices for Apple Watches like?
I don't know. I've never gotten one.
I'll look it up right now, but I'm pretty sure when they first came out, they were $1,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. No, I didn't know. The Android version of these are originally when they came out were in the 300s, but now you can get some of the good ones for about 150 to 300.
All right.
So we're looking up the prices on these right now, and they range anywhere from the Apple Watches like 5 to 800.
Yeah. So
pretty expensive for a watch.
Basically, you're buying a phone that's really tiny and goes on your wrist.
Yeah,
it doesn't do everything a phone does.
Yeah, you can get some pretty good smartphones nowadays for a lot cheaper than that. Google is actually coming out with a new update for their smartwatch OS, the Wear OS.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, it's been kind of in the beta area right now. It's not out for anybody, but there have been some leaks and stuff about it, and it's supposed to be really good. So hopefully the next generation of Android smartwatches are going to start to catch on. I think people will start using them more and more.
Yeah.
Especially now with Android Pay and everything, people are using it more and more. A lot more businesses are, getting the NFC readers from the phones, and I think the smartwatches will kind of get tied into that.
Yeah. How long have you had your smartwatch?
A little over a year, I think.
Oh wow, seems like it's been 2 years.
I don't know. I don't remember. It might have been 2 years. I've had it for a while. It's slowly started to slow down since I've had it. New software updates. I mean, it's not meant to handle all the new stuff, but it still runs.
Which one do you have?
The Asus ZenWatch 3. It's a pretty fancy looking watch. That's kind of why I got it. It was around the 300 at the time I bought it. It was kind of new at the time. It had been out for a little while, but pretty nice. Smart looking smartwatch. Got it so I could wear it to church and stuff. So, and what I thought was really cool is it had a speaker built into the watch, so you could act like a stormtrooper taking a call from your smartwatch. That was like super cool to me, since not really anything else did that at the time.
Yeah. That's definitely a pretty cool feature to be able to talk into your wrist like a stormtrooper.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. What's next? The next section we have is books, but we didn't really want to talk about books today. We didn't really know what to talk about.
I mean, I'm still reading the same thing as last time. I haven't gone through another book this week, but...
Yeah, same. So maybe we'll talk about some books next week. Maybe.
Depends.
All right, next up, though, moving over to some video games.
Hey, you know we're nerds, and you know we gotta talk about our video game news.
PlayStation Classic. So I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with 2.5 years ago, Nintendo released the Nintendo Mini Classic for $60, and that was a huge hit. So then in 2017, they released the Super Nintendo Mini Classic. That one was $80 though. It came with 2 controllers and stuff and 25 preloaded games. But their reasoning for going up $20 to $80 was because they had Star Fox 2 in it, and they felt like that was worth more money, I guess. I don't know. I picked it up. They sold out. Like, it was almost impossible by Christmas time to get one. You had to wait till January, so...
Yeah, if you're looking to get yourself one of those PlayStation Classics, try to get it earlier than later, because I bet they're going to sell out during Christmas time.
Yeah. So that was my point leading up while I was talking about the Nintendo ones, is this PlayStation, obviously by Sony, is starting at $100. So...
Yeah, a little bit above the Nintendo one. It's got 20 preloaded games. Correct me if I'm wrong. 20 preloaded games.
Problem is, though, a lot of those great PS1 games you played as a kid were third-party games that Sony doesn't have the rights to. So I'm really interested to see if they'll be able to make up for those games.
Yeah, like Crash Bandicoot, Metal Gear Solid. These games are not going to be on there preloaded. So if you want those first-party games that Sony did have, maybe you consider picking it up. But if you really want to go ahead and get on with the games that you really love to play, like at least I did, like Crash Bandicoot, then it might not be for you.
Yeah. You might have to get a 2-in-1 console for that. They have some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
So simulators that play Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo games. But also, I did forget, I just realized, Nintendo is making the Nintendo 64 Mini Classic.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So that should be coming out soon. And we expect those to sell out.
Retro console wars again.
Yeah. Are you gonna buy? Who's gonna
sell the most?
Your Nintendo 64 or PlayStation 1?
PlayStation Classic.
That's funny. Or PlayStation Classic.
We'll see how that goes.
I don't know, man. The Nintendo 64 is the only Nintendo console that I haven't put hours into. Just because it was like far enough like before my time, but at the same time it was old enough that it wasn't like parents or no one really related to me had one. Just because I guess at that time my dad had the original PlayStation, so I haven't put much time into a Nintendo 64. So what do you think the price will be for that? You think they'll keep it at 80? Match last year's?
I have no idea. I bet they'll keep it at 80.
I mean, they sold out. People had no problem paying the $80.
That's true. If they did sell out, and if they were a big hit, they might raise the price up to 100 to match Sony's.
Yeah, but
in other news, in Sony news, they are having the PlayStation Now. So to kind of match Xbox's Game Pass, if you are an Xbox player, I'm sure you know that you can pay a subscription fee. So it's kind of like a Netflix subscription, and you can just download older games that Xbox has released. Get some 360 games, some older Halo games or something that you haven't really played before if you're a newer Xbox player. Now PlayStation kind of has the same thing. I think they've had it before, but you would have to stream them to your console, and that's not really ideal. Since
I don't think they had a very big library. Yeah, like the games that certain people were my teeth got in the way. The games that some people were wanting to play weren't available in the store just because they didn't have access to all the games.
Yeah, and going along with that, now you can do that. There is a subscription. You can download the games to your console, so play some older games.
How much is it?
I actually don't know. I would assume it'd be similar to Xboxes. I think it's like $7 a month.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad. Get some
less
other
than
games,
$100 a year.
Yeah. So considering it would cost a little bit to buy those older games up if you wanted to play them. But there's one thing that they don't have are PS2 games. So it emulates the PS1, which allows you to play all the PS1 games that they want, but it doesn't really work for the PS2. So they got PS3 games and PS1 games, but no PS2 games. So maybe next year we'll see like a PS2 Classic come out, or
hey, people would buy that.
Yeah, I would.
The PS2 was so popular.
PS2 was the GOAT.
Yeah, I played a lot of time on that. I also didn't grow up with the GameCube. We went from the PS1 to PS2, so a lot of PS2 games I played.
Yeah, Battlefront.
So
that was my jam for PS2.
Hey, whose wasn't it?
That's true. In other news again.
Well, before we move on to this next one, I just realized, what if Microsoft wants to move on this money wagon and tries to make some kind of like Xbox classic? That sounds weird.
Yeah, I don't know how that would go for
like the original Halo.
Because I mean, the original Xbox was all right, but I don't think it took off the way like the PS1 and the PS2 did.
No, that's one thing Sony's always had over Xbox is the exclusives.
That's true. Exclusives and following through with what they say. Like, for example, the VR, whenever it was really starting to take off, Sony announced, hey, we're going to develop a VR headset for our console.
Yeah.
Microsoft said, hey, we're also going to develop a VR headset for our console. But, years later, never really got anything.
Yeah. And they both did the motion. They try to
Sony has the motion controls kind of like the Wii. I still think the Wii kind of outdoes.
That's all it was supposed to do.
Yeah, the Wii really outdoes Sony as far as the motion controls go.
Okay, so what would you say is better, the Sony's motion controls or the Xbox Kinect? That was technically controlless.
The motion controls for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have little experience with either. I did have like the Kinect to use,
but it came with it.
Yeah, you literally the Xbox One. It came with the console. Like during the first, I think it was like the first 6 months
before they discontinued it.
Yeah, before they discontinued it.
Yeah.
Since nobody was using them.
Yeah, so it's kind of like
you had to pay like an extra $100 for your console,
whether you wanted it or not. So it's kind of like when Google was trying to become a social media giant, and they made you have a Google Plus account to have a YouTube account, just because they were desperate to get those numbers. That's kind of how they were with the Kinect. So.
Yeah, that didn't really pan out for them, and because of all these mistakes Microsoft's kind of had, they've really lost a lot of the console market.
Yeah.
But recently they have been jumping on the PC platform a lot more. This is something Sony has not done at all.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, because Sony definitely, as far as the consoles go, is making more money than Xbox.
Without a doubt.
But at the same time, Xbox does have PCs. Or Microsoft does have their PCs that are really popular at the moment.
Yeah, so because of, Microsoft also makes PCs, they're trying to push toward PC gaming.
Yeah.
So a lot of the Xbox games you can play, you can kind of transfer over and play on your PC if you wanted to. Or with the new Halo game that's coming out, it should be also on PC, unlike previous Halo games. Anyway, moving on. Some other video game news. China has been pretty recently limiting the amount of video game activity that's been going on in their country. More specifically, they've been blocking Twitch. So that's, some really big news. A big company like Tencent takes big hits because of these things, China's been limiting like the amount of video games you can play overall. Just really kind of messing with the video game economy over there. They've been trying to weed out loot boxes and.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, I'm glad someone's finally saying, "Hey, these are kind of like gambling, and we should maybe do something about it."
Maybe.
But not too much has been done on the loot boxes yet. There's been some stuff that's been going on, but for the most part, they're still pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So.
You
those
think
pay to win games?
You think Japan is gonna limit the video game uses that people can use?
No, I don't see that happening.
With having Nintendo and Sony from there.
Nah, I don't see that happening.
But yep. So rip all the Twitchers
from China.
Yeah. Hey, did that guy ever pass PewDiePie in subscriber count?
I don't know. We should check. So we just looked up the live sub count right now. PewDiePie still ahead by 3 million, but that's pretty small considering they're both in the 60 millions. T-Series has 63, PewDiePie has 66. I don't know why we're really talking about this, but some of you guys might care.
We talked about it last week, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of an update thing.
So if you guys were wondering about that, T-Series hasn't surpassed PewDiePie yet, but
it'll happen.
Getting really close.
Because last week he was up by 6 million at least.
Yeah, now he's only up by 3.
So, yeah.
Gap's closing.
Rip him. Alright. How long have we been recording?
About 16 minutes since Natalie left.
Alright, so now anything here, we'll skip health for now. We can come back to it later if we think of something. Anything in the sports world? Your soccer stuff or?
No, I haven't been keeping up with it pretty recently. I've been focusing on school.
What's school?
What is school?
Hey,
the thing you do to get a piece of paper that says you did school.
Like toilet paper?
Nah. It's more expensive than that.
Alright. Dan Bailey. Most of y'all are salty at him. He's the second most accurate field goal kicker ever.
Field kicker?
Field goal kicker.
Oh, field goal. Oh, so we're talking about American football now.
Yeah, he played for the Cowboys drafted him, and he played for them forever. And like right before the season began, they cut him for this guy that nobody knew, because the reasoning was, even though Dan Bailey's way better, this other guy is younger and cheaper.
Seems legit.
So they sacrificed the second, at one point, the first most accurate kicker in the world.
For someone that they don't know?
For someone that's younger and cheaper.
Oh.
So 8 teams offered him contracts right away, and the Browns even tried to get him. But he decided to go with the Vikings, so that's good for him. He'll be able to contend for sure with the Vikings. And
seems legit. I feel like most of these sports sections are just you talking about people, and I'm just like, explain more, because I have no idea what's happening.
Hey, whatever works, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't kept up with sports either this week, really. Been really busy and dead and sleeping, so because of the wisdom teeth, they're still a thing.
Just remember, Jeremy is dying right now, and he's making this content for you.
That is true. You want to talk about this next Bible section, and then we'll pause it for the 3rd episode?
Yeah, sure. So, on our Google Sheets here, we have good luck. So, I mean, I don't really believe in luck per se.
Yeah.
But there are some things that you seem like you just get lucky on every now and then.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's more like God making things happen. And to kind of tie in with what I was talking about earlier with prayer, the more you pray, the more you kind of notice things. So kind of ties in with this. The more you pray, the more you realize there's no such thing as luck. The more you really realize that God has a purpose for everything. And everything that you think is lucky is really just Him making things happen for you.
There is a gnat in my sweet tea. No, I can't drink my tea. There's a gnat in my tea.
Hey, it's protein.
What? No, I'm drinking that tea now. The gnat just ruined it. That's bad luck.
Gnat.
Rip. But no, I was just thinking because, like, when you're going to go take a hard test or job interview or do something that you're not 100% in control of. I mean, we're really not in control of anything, but something that you can't really control the outcome completely.
Something that you need luck on.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, "Oh, good luck." You know, you're gonna go take your SATs or something, and then people are like texting you, "Good luck." Well, like, what does that do for you?
Nothing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought it was kind of silly because all those people go out of the way to wish you good luck, but
no one takes the time to pray about it for you specifically.
I guess so. I mean, I don't really know where I'm going with this. I just wanted to point it out. I mean, them saying good luck doesn't give you better chances or anything. So I guess you'd rather say, you know, I'll be praying for you or something.
Yeah, that's something that I try to make an effort on. Like, it's so often we just get in the habit of just saying good luck instead of, like, either I'll be praying for you or, you know, have a blessed day.
Saying good luck ends there. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, good luck, and then you don't feel like you have any other obligations. But if you say, like, oh, I'll be praying for you about this, well, then you better remember to actually pray for it. And not even just once, not even just that day, but, like, until it's over or just
Resolved.
until it's resolved. Then keep praying for that. So it's kind of like a going the extra mile sort of thing.
Yeah, if you're going to go to the effort of telling someone good luck, then might as well let that person know that you really care about them and you're going to actually be praying about them.
Yeah. So, to quote Lecrae, it's not luck, it's grace.
Didn't you quote Lecrae last episode or last week's episode?
No, that was an F.
Oh, I don't know.
Go listen to Lecrae's song came out last year, Lucky Ones. It's really good. But
seems legit.
Yeah, so that one wasn't too deep or anything. It was just something I kind of thought of and was like, why do we say that? It's totally meaningless. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, so this next week, just tell someone you'll be praying for them instead.
Yeah. Going back to prayer again.
Hey, we got to tie in that prayer. Prayer is important.
Right. All right, how long are we at?
22.
All right. So we'll pause it here and get ready for the third episode.
Catch you on